reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Choose your weapon with Doghouse Systems. Custom-built PC delivered to your door. Amazing quality, great options, and outstanding service. When you want a desktop or laptop that will be the envy of your guild, kinship, or corporation, then our friends at Doghouse Systems are where you want to go. If you're looking for a new PC, then check out doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMOReporter to double your RAM.
Starting another recording.
Yep.
Can't freaking go 2 minutes without getting yourselves in trouble tonight.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We actually episode 7 this time.
Yes.
So we're episode 6. Yeah, we're episode 7. That's right.
Shut your face.
Did you say shut your face?
Yeah.
Shut your face.
All right.
I still haven't come up with a good line for you, Jen, so I'll keep trying.
That's okay. I understand.
All right.
Grandmaster Jen.
Grandmaster Jen. Oh, you can call me Sensei Jen.
No, Sensei doesn't work.
I don't know. It's got to be something more original.
Syllables.
Grandmaster.
No, that's not original.
Grandmeister.
No.
But then you're a dude.
Grandmeister.
Grandfrau.
Grandfrau.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Dude.
Oh my god. Okay, let me make sure I've closed a few things down. Sorry.
Well done. Well played.
We'll play what?
Just the humming.
I think I drank too much coconut milk.
Really? You gonna come in a report on me now?
It was just in the tummy.
You ain't getting fuck all.
It was so good.
You were in the wrong galaxy.
It almost tasted like real milk with a hint of coconut.
Almost tasted like real milk. That's what she said.
Uh,
Wrote it down. Yeah.
Okay, ready.
Let's do this. Come on, guys. We got to get some PvP done. So
Let's get this.
let's do this.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Tep?
Yep. I mean,
Fuck you. Don't speak for me.
someone needs to.
I'm ready for the third time.
We're ready.
Hello and welcome to ESO Reporter. What?
No, stop.
Hello.
Stop.
Hello.
You need to give us a bit of a bigger gap than that.
Please, guys.
Three.
Just a 3 count or something like that.
Two. Ein.
You're wearing a tutu.
3, 2. No. 1, 2, 3. Ja, 3, 2, 1.
Nice fire.
Now, dig.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to ESO Reporter podcast episode number 7. Greenland's #1 transatlantic source of information on the Elder Scrolls Online. And what a podcast we have in store for you today. Right? I hope.
I hope so.
Lots of stuff. Oh, go ahead, Tep. Sorry.
Wait, what are we doing?
I think we're doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast?
I think so.
What of those?
That's for introduction. I was waiting for that. I got all thrown now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I tell you, there's a lot going on. Is there not? A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of in between, and we have it all. And we will be discussing it over the next hour or so, hopefully right around hour, because we want to get back to playing the game. And
We've got a PvP.
That's right. We've got a PvP. But before we go any further, let me introduce the wonderful, effervescent, because I can't stop that, Jen.
That's okay. I just have to live with it.
Sounds like she has a condition.
It does, but that's okay.
Well, I think here's a good thing. Oh, by the way, effervescent Genara. Hello, Jen.
Sven.
I think our listeners should come up with maybe a good tagline.
No.
Oh, no, I think so.
No.
Bring it on, listeners. We want to hear. What should we be? She doesn't like effervescent. Bubbly is not her thing.
Doesn't have to be alliteration either. It doesn't have to be like Jumbly Jen.
What?
I think you hit it.
Jumping
I
Jen.
think it's it.
Jumbly Jen.
Yeah, Juicy Jen. No, that's not required.
And
Could be anything.
and you can lie because we do that with Teppo's catch line as well.
Mm.
Yeah, there's no synopsis at all in here. No, I'm actually artificial intelligence. Some drunk student made once upon a time. Yes.
Teppo, thanks for joining us, sir.
110011. Hello.
This is the oddest beginning I've ever been a part of, but I will tell our listeners that it does get better from this point.
I hope so.
Because it can't get any worse.
No, it can't. And I think
You
I have
can't
to blame
eat.
it on the coconut milk. I had too much coconut milk.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the last time I want to hear about that coconut milk in the next 6
Can I
minutes.
be added to that list?
All right.
If coconut milk comes out, I'm going to bleep it out and pretend you swore.
Oh, screw you, hippie. Anyway,
I drank too much.
every other word out
This
there.
is the best bleep I've ever had. Okay. So anyway, we kind of had some hit or miss playtimes this week together, but I think separately we got a bit of playtime in. I know myself. I spent most of my time in PvP, although I spent quite a bit of time as well in the second area of Daggerfall, and played a little bit with Teppo as well on some Ebonheart characters. And we didn't run into any bugs, but we'll talk about some people that may have. Well, at least I didn't run into any bugs. But otherwise, no. Good time so far. Enjoying my time in Tamriel Online. Boy, why didn't they call it that?
Tamriel Online, because no
T.O.
T.O. I don't know. I like it.
like, what the hell is Tamriel Online?
Well, scroll. They don't know what
It's a
that
game.
is.
Do you think that's why they had such a kerfuffle about, was it Penny Arcade who were trying to make a Scrolls game?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 ago? It's because they're in development of
Had to
this.
How about you guys? Did you get a lot of playtime in?
Actually, we got a lot of playtime in today, didn't we?
Yeah, we played about 8 hours today.
Yeah, we had a good session today. So from yesterday to today, we've gone from level 13 to level 16. So we did all
Something
right.
like that.
We're not too bad. Sorry about Wednesday, Sven. I stood Sven up accidentally. I'm evil.
It was terrible. Terrell and I had to link under his arms, get him drunk on Ebonheart Pact quests, and just chase around for a couple hours, keep his mind off.
Oh,
Killing bugs.
Killing bugs.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. All
the bugs are called Jen as well. It's this weird coincidence.
What?
All the bugs are killed Jen as well. It was a weird coincidence. It's like, oh, let's kill Jen again. No.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Actually, we should talk about that because we also ran a dungeon. Actually.
Spindle Clutch.
Oh gosh, and boy, did I die a lot.
Yeah, but you were under-leveled when you first went in, didn't you?
Yeah, we did it at 13th level with the 3 of us actually.
Wow. Yeah, 12, 13.
We did quite well. We got to the end boss. We could not beat the end boss. Until we tried it again today at 16th. No, actually, we were 15th level when we went in, I think, weren't we? And then by the time we ended, we were like 16th level or something. But we managed to get through it. I only died twice this time. But last time I died 150 times, something like that. But it was fun. Normally I'd get really frustrated when running a dungeon and dying so often. But it was so nice to have a challenge because there's not a great deal of challenge when you're in a group. I don't know if the listeners find that, but I know when I find that I'm playing with you guys, love it. But there's no challenge at all. So it was nice to go into a dungeon, and it was difficult.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about this a little bit in the news too. With this, I think they have addressed that somewhat in Craiglorn, trying to create more group content. But we'll hit that a little bit later. But enjoyed your second week. How did you feel about that? Are you still enjoying the game, or are you starting to fade, or how do you feel so far?
Was that to me or Tep?
Either one.
No. Well, actually, I was talking to Tep about this not so long ago before we started the podcast, and I was thinking, actually, I'm really excited about it. I'm still excited about it. I'm still enjoying it.
Good.
It's the first time I've had so much fun in MMO for a really long time.
That's something to say.
Yeah, especially for more than 3 weeks, because I really enjoyed Star Wars when it first came out, but of course, when I got to 50th level in that game, it kind of lost a lot of appeal for me.
Yeah.
So this was quite nice. It's nice to go around, find places to explore, go into dungeons. This is a thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Totally stuff off the...
It's a super exploring game.
It's great. Yeah. What about you, Sven? What do you think?
You mean the pretty much in the pocketbook of ZeniMax Sven. I mean, really. I mean, the thing is exactly what you said: getting off the beaten path, getting away from the main quest line, and just finding different stuff. That is where I find solo wise where I really am enjoying myself in PvE content. But I'm a Dark Age of Camelot vet, so for me, PvP, this 3-realm kind of thing, I am finding myself actually building an allegiance towards Daggerfall.
Yeah.
In that I don't even think I'll play any of the other two alliances in PvP because I'm getting to know some of the names.
Is that Svenita, that you're playing?
Svenita, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Templar. I'm getting to know some of the names of the players and getting in some groups with them repeatedly later. It's late in the night for them, probably unless they're NA, which I think some might be, but others are Euros. But and I don't know. It's just one of those things. You just kind of get an attachment to them and having a blast. So.
And we had so much fun. To our listeners, last weekend we played with Sven, myself, and Solo till like 3:00 in the morning. Oh my god! I mean, Stupid. It took me days to recover, but it was awesome.
Getting old now, Jen.
I am. I'm getting so old, but it was awesome. We had so much fun in there, just jumping players.
It was a lot of fun, and I'll say, but I can see both sides of things. Like when I talk to Teppo about PvP, and the waiting around. Sometimes you have to have the time and the patience for it. If you don't have the time, because some of us, let's face it, have a lot of stuff going on, and I was fortunate that night. I had plenty of time. So you can,
and that's what I was going to say. Really, this has felt like the first week I've had time to do anything because I've been so busy at work for the first couple of weeks. I'm not being interested in PvP at all because I just didn't have the time to be sitting there, or riding around. 20 minutes from one keep to where the actual battle's taking place after a death. I was not interested.
And I get that. I mean, I totally get that. If I've got a certain limited amount of time, I don't want to be doing that either.
No, you can't. It takes too much time, doesn't it? But tonight you only have an hour, and we're going to still do it, right?
Sure. Yeah. We'll find a hot spot pretty quick. The nice thing is about having the time that we had that night is we can, you can sit and find yourself in stealth. On each side of a road or each side of a commonly, pathed area by one of the two other alliances and pick off the stragglers.
And I think if we have an opportunity to play tonight, it'll be really cool because we might be able to play with like 4 or 5 people, which will be really neat. And I think if we can get together and have like not massive groups, but like 5 to 8 people, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be fun. I agree. Getting a small group together would be a lot of fun. All right, well, enough of our experiences. I think we should hit the news. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, news. Today we start with crafting simulator. It's an article from ESO Head, and not an article, but a tool on ESO Head that is, from what I've just played around with at limited use, super useful.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Jen.
No, sorry, I interrupted you.
I was going to say the only thing that I see missing, and maybe it's just because I am looking in the wrong place, but are some of the other three like enchanting and provisioning and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Which I could really use because my enchanting gets frustrating sometimes with the glyphs and stuff.
Yeah, that would be really useful. I know this was actually brought to my attention by Terrell, one of our other friends, players online. So he brought this up today, and I was like, "Oh, I must put that up, especially for the listeners to have a look at because it's really useful. It shows you all the different armors from the different races. It also goes up to legendary armor as well, which is really cool. And you can have a play around with that if you get a chance to. It also has the traits as well for armor and stuff.
I like that.
You can see below.
It doesn't quite tell you what all the set bits do.
No, that is true. It does not do that.
But it does list them, which is nice. Hopefully they'll fill that in at some point.
A little bit off topic on this. A quick question. You said set bits. I found randomly a set bit loot item 1 of 3 of it was a hood. Tell me a little bit about that because frankly I haven't done any of that stuff. So if I find something randomly, can I use it with the other pieces? Will it still give me bonuses, or is this just kind of like a recipe for building that set piece or that item?
So you can only craft stuff with set piece bonuses at the specific crafting stations for those set pieces. Now they're mirrored. The most common ones, I believe, are mirrored across the 3 alliances, but there's probably some which are only found in certain dungeons and high-level places. Ones you loot, now I don't know if they match up with ones you can craft or if they're special and on their own. I'm not sure if I've ever come across a set piece. I feel that I might have in beta, it might come across set pieces or drop, but I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know if they match up.
I'll link it tonight for you so you can see. Just curious. It was interesting. I was like, "What is this?" I thought this was only when crafting at a station. I didn't know it would actually drop. So, but anyway, the crafting station on ESO Head is great. Jump in there if you see it. Thanks, Jen, for finding that one. That's really neat. I'm going to definitely put that to good use.
Yeah, thank you.
It's quite good. It shows you how much materials you need and roughly what you'll get out of it. In terms of your armor rating and stats and things like that.
It's a very useful tool, especially for those people who craft, because I know we're really enjoying crafting. Most of us, aren't we? Most of us are covering the basis, I think.
Yep. Now, let me ask you something before we go to Craig Lauren, our next news item. Are you finding all crafting you're liking, or are you finding certain things that you're kind of getting enamored with?
Well, I'm really enjoying weaponsmithing and armor smithing, but also enchanting.
Okay.
But I'm finding it really difficult now to find, whereas before I was finding runes really easily, I'm finding it really difficult to get runes now. Yep,
me too.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know if I was the only one, but they seem to respawn really slowly.
Yep, and the hireling only gives you a couple a day, so it sucks that way too.
It'd be nice if they upped it because it's so difficult, especially when you get the aspect runes, because the aspect runes are really rare. So, I don't know if you found that, but you can barely find them. I've got loads of potency runes.
Do you really? We need to trade.
Really?
We'll
have to, actually.
I'm loaded with aspect, so...
Good, I might have to get some of your aspect, but I'm not having luck with aspects at all.
He's been stealing them.
He's been stealing them. I've not had luck with them at all, but I really enjoy enchanting as well. It's good. It's good fun.
Good. How about you, Jeff?
I've been enjoying provisioning, cooking, doing all the cooking. Getting stuff done.
Did you see that latest recipe?
Basically, the entire guild is harvesting for me.
We are. Did you get my email on the latest recipe? Was that useful, or did you have it already?
I think so. I think it was useful. Can't remember. That was a few hours ago.
It was. It was really odd. I've never seen it before, so I thought, that's a. Do you?
Yeah, I've got some recipes now that involve wasp squeezings, and I'm not sure I should be feeding that to anyone. Yeah, no,
I wonder what they taste like. I think they might be bitter. They must be bitter. You can't imagine them not being bitter. Can you?
Oh, I don't know. There's probably some weird chemical reaction because it'll be an alkali or something silly like that. But anyway,
who knows?
Food and drink quite useful for doing dungeons. Shame you can't stack one food and one drink. It's one or t'other, which means you have to basically choose between regen or straight up boost.
Yeah. And guys,
which is a bit of a
if
shame.
you're not aware, if you die, actually Teppo pointed this out to me, if you die, you don't actually lose your food buff. So but you do have to.
So don't waste
you
them.
have to keep an eye on them because you only get them for like 35 minutes, don't you? Well, the lower level ones anyway.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah. So they go up in duration. I think based on quality. So I got a blue recipe that does two things differently from the others. So my normal green recipes last 35 minutes without any of the extra passives, which also add time. I got a blue recipe that then actually goes on for an hour.
Wow.
And improves two things at once. So I guess that's what the different rarity recipes do.
Cool.
They increase duration and increase the number of effects. So I haven't seen anything above a blue yet. But one day.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it, actually. It's a bugger to gather for unless you've got lots of really nice friends. Because there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
There's no keen eyes you can choose with. You have to loot every crate, sack, and box you come across.
Bottles.
Everything
Bottles too. Bread.
Oh gosh, yeah.
No, not bottles.
Oh really? Because I found some things in bottles.
Yeah, but most of the time what we get with bottles is a bottle. From which you can fill up water, which is not useful for food, for provisioning, right? So it's kind of not worth it. Bread's already a food that's been created.
Oh, right.
So you don't need to worry about that either.
Boxes.
Yeah, just that kind of stuff. So you have no control of what you're gathering. So you will end up like me with like a bank with like 300 drippings in it.
Yeah, and nothing else.
You know? And 300 meal in it.
But because he's got nice friends, we tend to put ingredients in the guild bank.
As you go up in levels, you also require more ingredients for the recipes. Or is it levels or is it quality again? I think it might be a bit of both. So I'm starting to get recipes now which require 3 things. It's just I haven't thrown out all the drippings and the meal and stuff, the basic ones, because I might need them for the bigger recipes, the bit more rewarding ones.
Good stuff.
But it's good. It's
Very
good times.
And do we have an alchemist of any kind?
I think Solo is actually one, to be honest. Although apart from that, I don't know anyone else in the guild who is.
And has he gotten a long ways with it or not really?
Yeah, I think he has actually, because he's like you. He's really focused on crafting. It's like his thing.
How do you be focused on crafting if you're not leveling up those alts as well?
I don't know, because he's just really crafting stuff, and I think he's trying to gain things through sky shards and stuff, skills through sky shards and things. So, but you'd have to ask him. But I think his alchemist is moving up there.
Oh, good. We could use it. There's some good stuff
that would
there.
be pretty good, actually. Yeah.
I don't like alchemy. I'll never touch that because it's just.
Oh, it looks really hard.
Yeah, it's not.
I thought you were talking about doing it when the game was going live.
Didn't I move over to enchanting? I thought I did.
Yeah, no. I didn't hear you say that you didn't like alchemy.
Oh, I don't like it. I tried it.
What's wrong with it?
I'm kind of I don't know. It just doesn't fit my. I don't want to temple. I like enchanting.
It's really difficult, actually. Not saying that it's too difficult for you, Sven.
No, it is.
But for me, I just look at it and go, "What? I'm not so sure I want to touch that either."
I'm saying it's too difficult for me. No, it's just too intricate. How about that?
Intricate, yes. I think that's probably better. Yeah.
Complex,
yes. Intricate, complex.
Just not
waffy.
my style.
No, it's not waffy, to be honest. That's unfair.
So is the alchemy like in the other Elder Scrolls game? You have to find a couple of things that do the same and then put them together. And
Yeah, I think it is.
And there's 4 different things that a thing can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You discover it, and it sucks. I mean, it's good for those that like to do that kind of thing, but even enchanting is difficult is challenging to some extent, but it's not to the extreme of alchemy, in my opinion. So whoever does alchemy and is good is going to be one heck of a useful person in their guild or their.
Yeah.
But consumables are the way forward for fun and profit. I learned in Lord of the Rings Online. I made a killing making Edelharn tokens in that game.
Oh,
actually,
really?
I made a fortune selling ore actually in that game.
That's quite good. They're probably using it to make Edelharn tokens. If you got gated content like in Lotro, which was based on dread, and you have to use consumables, Edelharn tokens to combat that dread, it's a good business to be in.
Yeah, and the thing is, I used to sell ore in that game just because, you obviously needed the ore in order to make the ingots.
Mm-hmm.
So they sold, and of course, if you make the ingots, you level up. So I thought, actually, it's probably far better for me to sell the ore than it is for me to sell the ingots. And I just made a killing. It's just so much money in that game selling this. But anyway, back to this game.
That's auction house stuff, but
yeah.
Right.
Which ESO doesn't have.
Yeah, we'll have to save that one for another day. That's a good Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into the another article here. We were talking about content and playing together and stuff, and we had talked about Craiglorn, I think, previous episode, but there's a new site that ZeniMax has tossed out there for Craiglorn. I think they're onto something here. What do you guys think?
I think the site looks really nice.
That's awesome.
For a start, it's really good.
I think they found that I think maybe they knew in beta or beforehand that there just wasn't enough challenging content for groups in PvE. So this was, other than the dungeons, obviously, but even the dungeons, you guys told me there really wasn't much except for the boss on the first dungeon, at least. But this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks really
It's interesting.
It's really good.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the map.
Yep.
Actually, never mind that it's Craiglorn or anything like that. Not relevant to this at all.
Right.
It's interesting that Daggerfall was the only one that wasn't touching Cyrodiil until now.
Yeah.
Totally
Weird
agree.
that, isn't it? Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Strange.
And is that really part of Daggerfall? No, right? It's another place altogether, Craiglorn, right?
Yeah, it's not. Obviously, it's not part of the main story. Alliance area. I'm not entirely sure what part of which nation that is supposed to be. But
What do you guys feel about after you're done with your main mission in your area, that then your PvE content, you take it to one of the other two areas and you go through this from the very beginning content. So starting area content, but it's leveled to you. Do you know that's how it works?
Are you saying that's how it works, or do you know it?
Oh, is it? Oh,
It
cool.
is.
I didn't know that.
I knew you chose where to go next, but I didn't exactly know what the mechanic was when you got there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it's just the same quest, but leveled to you.
Unfortunately, that's what I have found on YouTube with players that already got there.
I mean, I think
That
that's
could be
pretty.
problematic.
It's okay, to be fair, if you play one character, but as we're playing like 3 different alliances, that could get really samey, actually.
Mm-hmm. So maybe Craiglorn helps that?
Hopefully.
And then another area that, once you're done with Craiglorn, because we haven't got there, then they'll have another one. I think that's probably what I'm guessing they're going to do.
I hope so.
Me too.
I mean, the ideas inside Craiglorn seem pretty good. So it's all about group stuff, quests and delves made for groups of 4 and 12 player trials.
Yeah, that's pretty
the
cool.
leaderboard, though, that's a cool thing to be competing against other little raids and stuff like that. And of course, obtain powerful weapons and armor, because what's an MMO without cool looking stuff?
You played Defiance, Tep, right?
Yeah, I've done.
Jen, did you play it all?
3 minutes.
Okay, so the cool thing about Defiance, now this is solo stuff, but I like the little trials that they had for individual like races and stuff like that where there were leaderboards as well. But this is cool because you're doing it as a group and trying to get it done fast.
And I think what's really promising about this is the fact that it's come out so soon after the release. It gives me a lot of promise that there's a lot more planned for this game.
Very surprised at that. Why did it wait till the 30 days was almost over and then toss it out there? But that's just...
Well, it's not out yet.
Well, even the concept or idea, I guess. But yes, you're right.
Also, this, in terms of anything that's been thrown out in the first month or two after launch, I hesitate. This is me, the cynical, being playing MMOs for 13 years out on. I don't give them much credit for.
Yeah.
Because they have been working on that for a few months.
Oh, you know it, right?
Yeah.
That has basically probably been finished as good as before launch.
Absolutely.
And they're doing this to give them time to fix bugs and all this kind of stuff. Now, what I'm always interested in is what comes out around the 3-month mark and the 6-month mark, because that's usually stuff that's been on the roadmap for them internally, but they probably haven't worked a huge amount on when the game actually launched.
Yeah.
So this is sort of post-launch, and that has a lot more player feedback usually into it in terms of what people have loved and hated since launch.
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm looking forward to. Craggle does look good, though. I hope. Well, yeah, to be honest, I'd love to see it soon, but also I don't want to rush ahead to the end.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and the thing is, what also kind of shows me as well is that I know because a lot of my comments when we were running the beta, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one, was that it'd be nice to have more group content.
Yeah.
And that they need to have improved group content. So obviously they seem to be listening, and that's really important as well. If you want a game to be successful, you need to listen to the people you're trying to appeal to. You need to appeal to your audience.
I feel that the main weakness for Elder Scrolls Online at the moment is its grouping.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Because the entire game is designed for single to duo, and they seem to... It's an odd mix. Usually you'll get MMOs, it's quite easy to get to top level fairly quickly, and then they rely on all the grouping stuff at the top levels. You're all going to be same level stuff. Now, what they've done here is they've made a game which is fairly slow to level by recent standards, but not provided a lot in the way of helping people at different levels, leveling at different speeds, friends working together and staying at the same level in the same group. So it's a little bit odd.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, I'm writing these down as you're coming across. This is a great topic for next episode, is the whole group situation, where I am actually, I think you mentioned it too, not overly pleased with the dynamic of groups and no mentoring and that kind of stuff. So I think that's worth a discussion at some point.
Yeah, I think
agree.
it's dawning on quite a few people post-launch.
Yeah.
That it's because no one really works the same schedule. It can be, unless you're playing with your partner,
Right.
It can be quite difficult to stay at the same pace.
Totally agree. Totally.
And I mean, the only reason why we've been able to do it is because, well, obviously we're not playing the characters with you until you're around, and we're not playing characters with Tep until he's around, and that's the only way we can stop ourselves from leveling.
Yeah,
fast.
It's not friendly. Let's just put it that way. It isn't friendly. It
doesn't go out of its way.
Right. You can do it, but you have to do you have to make the effort. And that's, I think they could have. I mean, there's plenty of examples how to do it. So it's not as though this is trying to create something innovative and difficult. It's right there for them. So okay. So Craig Lorne aside, there is a bit of a downer out there right now. I think this is the big one. I know we had some comments, and we'll talk about them later, about banking and some of that stuff that took place, issues with losing items. But there's a bug that, this article actually says is devastating Elder Scrolls Online. I think that's a little bit, dramatic, but it's called a duplicate bug. There's a process where you could actually duplicate resources and items to an extreme. There's videos on YouTube, and then you can go on to, I'm sure, Reddit. There's articles on, and this is the one we're linking is from PCG Media, but kind of depressing, frankly. I don't know how you guys feel, but I mean, it's a game. I guess for me, I was talking earlier to Teppo off our podcast about this, and it's not an altruistic thing on my end. It's more like, gosh, I like the challenge of a game, and I don't think I would ever even have used that bug had I known it existed.
Yeah, I think there's that temptation there for a lot of people. Even people would normally cheat or whatever. But if you find out how easy it may or may not be, I think they've closed up the bug now, but I'm still not going to describe how it's done.
Yeah.
But it wasn't difficult to do.
No.
Is the gist of it. And I don't know. You can get into a situation in some games where you can, if the grind's getting in the way, then that would be a very easy fix.
Yeah.
But I haven't felt that way myself in Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
And you're going to get caught. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, the logs. Yeah, I mean, it does depend on how well they've done their back end. Some games don't have logs like that. PlanetSide 2, for instance, doesn't really record much in the way of logs. They can't do rollbacks. I don't know what Elder Scrolls Online is. I've suffered some accidental rollbacks over the past week, it seems, where the game has crashed and for some reason the last 10 minutes of progress have gone.
Yeah.
That's items and XP and quest progression. I don't know what causes that, but that's a whole other thing. But apparently this has been taken, this dupe bug has been taken to some pretty far extremes.
Yep.
With essentially wrecking the economy so far.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, if I'll be real quick and then I'll let you on your thought. If there was an auction house, it would even be worse.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I was going to say, that's the nice thing about not having an auction house. But yeah, it's pretty bad. We already have people camping bosses for stupid loot. Don't know why. They waste their time, but you know.
Yeah.
Get loads of duplicates, yeah. It's crazy.
The only experience that I can talk about, I mean, firsthand, where I've felt the potential problems with this bug is in PvP over the past couple times I've been out. And, I can't say specifically that it's caused it, but my gameplay in the last 2 nights has not been as enjoyable at a level 19. Now, I know, I'm still low for that area, and I understand, there are people that are already at cap and everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to have that a bit, but I haven't felt when I've been measured up mono a mono or mono a womano or whatever it is.
Mono a lizardo.
A lizardo.
Mono a lizardo.
A catto. I haven't felt.
We're breaking him.
Sorry.
It's okay. I haven't felt like I've been at the same ability level as they are. I mean, I was able to take equal level players pretty easily before, and now it's definitely not the case. So is that me? Is it the night? Is it this bug? I don't know, but it sure seems odd.
Do you think that it has to do with the fact that they might be PvPing a bit more than you, and therefore they have access to like loads of blue items and stuff?
Absolutely.
Or do you think it's
possibly?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to tell.
Because you level so slowly that, yes, absolutely. In PvP, you level so slowly that, they could get a lot of blues.
That's the issue, isn't it? And you're going to get people in there, because I know you love PvP, and I love PvP, but we have jobs in real life, don't we?
Right.
And there are going to be people in there who will be equal level, but will spend all their time in PvP.
Yep.
And we get an item almost every capture.
Mm-hmm.
I come out of there. I love it. I come out of there with tons of items.
Jen, I bet I get 5 or 6 in about a 2-hour time period without much difficulty. Oh, those are greens, and then I can buy 2 blues with my alliance points. So, it's a haven for crafters. I mean, let me throw that out there.
It's amazing for crafters, actually.
Because you can, deconstruct all these items that you're getting in PvP. Yeah. It's fantastic. So, but anyway, I'm disappointed. I can't. For as many people who've worked on the game and as long as they worked on it, this one really blows my mind, frankly. But you know what? I'm not in the business, so maybe it's something that I don't understand. But it does blow my mind that it was out there still.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you think? I mean, Tep, you know more about programming and that kind of stuff. Is it surprising to you at all that this got through?
Dupe bugs have been around since dawn of time, really, almost in gaming. I remember those dupe bugs in the Diablo games. Yeah. In general, I would say it's surprising, kind of, that this stuff's still going on in modern games. It isn't surprising in the fact that this is the first MMO that ZeniMax Online has made. Yeah. And that they have shown some cracks in the underlying structure of some of these systems. Yep. There have been to do with, say, social features and banking, and it's now with loading. There's some underlying infrastructure issues there which they need to iron out. So the fact that there's been a dupe bug, I think it's a logic issue. I think some systems aren't communicating quite correctly. Yeah. It's like a performance issue rather than a logic issue, I think.
Interesting.
Or obviously it's going to be a mixture of both, but that's how it feels to me. So it's a shame. What's a shame is this bug was reported back in February in the beta.
No way! I didn't read that.
Yeah, it's been reported numerous times, including by people up to last week ago. But it was first noticed in February in the beta.
Wow!
And they not only hadn't fixed it, except it could be a super complex problem, so that it has taken them time to fix it. They didn't shut down the systems that were involved in producing it.
Wow!
Ooh.
Wow!
So that's quite an oversight, really.
So now, okay, this is, I give Teppo a lot of credit on things, and honestly, I don't want his ego to get much bigger than it is, but he deserves it. And here's what I'm going to go back to. They had time to postpone release and fix this if they knew it in February. I know release was coming up fairly soon, but it wasn't as though it would have affected their fiscal, second quarter or whatever it ended up being. I'm not sure on quarters or anything, but so if they're not going to fix it and delay release and fix it, what are some solutions you guys? I mean, for me, I'm thinking I read something about roll back everything to launch. That's one dramatic move.
Yes.
I don't know if you can do that kind of thing, but what are some other ideas? You guys, have you thought about that at all? What would you suggest ZeniMax do if you were ahead of them?
Now, what we're doing for ZeniMax now is a whole other issue.
Yeah.
I mean, now, okay, I feel okay in saying it since they've taken steps against it already.
Yep.
The bug involves the guild bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a non-core feature of the game.
Yep.
They could have just switched that off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They could have just not had that in.
Yep.
That's then. We're past that now. As we said before, they're launching.
And I know that I'm probably stating the obvious here, but when the bug was actually brought up in the beta, they should have dealt with it then and there.
Sure. Well, or at least like Teppo said, shut the guild bank down until it gets fixed. Even at beta, just shut it down and fix it. Okay. What else, Tep? Sorry, I didn't mean.
Well, I was just saying. They had the option, as we said, in the run-up to launch. They're launching at the beginning of a fiscal year, beginning of a quarter. They could have postponed.
Yep.
Now, February's kind of on the line a bit. They probably already had, marketing pushes and distribution deals and whatever locked down probably around about by the end of February.
Yeah.
Well, certainly by the end of February. So maybe there wasn't as much wiggle room as we'd like there. But... all they can do a few things now. They can either roll back all the way to launch in terms of equipment and money, but possibly not levels, probably not levels, or they can do limited rollbacks. Maybe they could take all the equipment and things away apart from what you're wearing, but then give you like some money based on your level. I don't know. Or they can just plow ahead and go, kind of the economy's buggered. Which is a problem because there's only 2 servers.
That's it, right. That's it. Shut the guild bank down.
Well...
Because they haven't fixed it yet, right? Or have they?
Well, it's not completely fixed, no, because it was down today, wasn't it? For some time. It was down yesterday for some time. So they're obviously trying to deal with the issue. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to do something that I really don't like. And that is, and I mean that because I get really tired of hearing people saying, "Oh, give me my money back for the." Yeah. But I honestly think this is a great opportunity for ZeniMax to do the right thing, show a ton of community love, and say, "All right, this is a mini fantasy or FF14, Final Fantasy 14 deal. Say we're going to start your 30 days now, not whatever. We're going to give you." 2 weeks free or whatever.
But the thing is, you could say that, but equally, it's a problem related to the guild bank primarily.
Yep.
It's not, and let's be fair, it's not something that's completely tied in with gameplay or how the game is running and stuff. I think giving people 33 days would be unfair, really.
Really.
But I kind of agree with you in one aspect though, because I know Final Fantasy did this when they were having issues. I think giving someone maybe a week. A free week or something like that might be helpful, or rolling it back a week and extending a week of gameplay. But I don't think a month is.
Yeah, they're having a lot of discussion.
I don't think the bug is, that. I don't think a bug is that much.
It's not just to do with the Guild Bank, though, Jen. That's how it was done.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It's everything.
Yep.
It's potentially it's siege weapons.
Yeah, I mean, have you run into
exclusive gear?
Have you run into the difficulty? I haven't. I haven't
Well,
had that problem.
Jen, there was the other. How many siege weapons did you normally see on a fight typically?
What, like 5 or 6?
Yeah, how about like 12? And it was like put up immediately, and they would get refreshed, and they get refreshed immediately. It was the last 2 nights have been really bad that way.
Fair enough.
And they probably made enough, but for 6 months. You know, I mean, if they did the duplicates, oh man, it's yeah.
I mean, this is these are. I haven't seen screenshots or someone saying, "Yeah, this is what I did," yet. But this is things that they were capable of doing with the dupe bug. So it's a big deal. Even though it was just one non-core system, it is a big deal.
All right. Okay. So let's touch on our next subject, which is kind of lightening things up a little bit. Lightning. Okay, making it lighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lightening things up. Yes, I think that it also has to do with economy as well, kind of.
Yeah,
but in a different way.
You found it, Jen. Tell us about it.
Well, basically, it's just that there's like this underground, from what the article reads, there's this underground economy of making like thousands and thousands of gold by telling people you'll turn them into a werewolf or a vampire. I think it's really funny.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you could do it, and people are interested, it's the old supply and demand.
Yeah, it is. But I think the author of the article, or the author of the article, was saying that people were offering like 35,000 golds. That's a hell of a profit, really. You know, just like getting a vampire bite or something.
Is it that difficult to do it on your own?
I don't think so. Weren't they saying in the article they're running into problems with people who are actually like killing the NPCs that give you the bites and stuff.
Yeah.
So forcing people to have to bite you and have to change you. Yeah. I hate when people do that, because I mean, this is when people like turn something fun into something that's a bit griefy. I mean, I think it's kind of funny, but at the end of the day, I think killing the NPCs that do it, so they make money, I find that quite underhanded. Yeah.
How long will it last, though, right? I mean, I can't imagine after the 30-day free period that it'd be that difficult.
Think so. Yeah. I mean, I have no interest in being a werewolf or vampire.
No, I haven't.
I might give it a crack, but I'm not actually that interested in the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe on an alt or something.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't think I'll do it on my Bane unless I just, there's a definite reason or something. But yeah, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm just not that interested. I think the werewolf kind of appeals to me more than a vampire does, because the vampires are really ugly. But I
think werewolf too.
Yeah, I think that could be kind of fun, like having a band of werewolves. But
a Khajiit werewolf. Wow,
of werewolves. That'd be awesome. That'd
cat
be weird.
And a wolf.
Cat turned into a wolf. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Obviously, Teppo doesn't want to do either.
No, I don't think you do you, Teppo?
Yeah.
Meh.
Depends what bonuses they offer.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he wants to be emperor. He wants to be king.
Screw that.
Oh, I don't want to be
full of blowhards and scumbags doing PvP.
Yeah,
and we love you, listeners, who are the blow. All blowhards and scumbags. We love you, just so you know.
Hey, I actually, listeners, myself and Sven actually really enjoy PvP. So, yeah.
And blowhards and scumbags, as long as they subscribe to our podcast.
As long as
I only merely enjoy it. I don't really enjoy it.
You merely enjoy it.
I merely enjoy it. I merely enjoy it. It's just enjoy. I enjoy, not really enjoy.
It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a waste of time. All that. Step off the lip and all that.
Well, sometimes it is.
It can be. Yeah. For sure. But it does get my blood pumping. I enjoy. Oh, did I? I did. Okay, let's just move on. No.
Should we move on?
Yes.
I think so.
Let's glance over that.
All right, that's it for the news.
No, it's not actually.
Oh, tell me, what else do we have?
Although, oh no, this has been cut. Sorry.
Oh,
That was kind of interesting.
Oh, great! Yeah, you just hook the listeners in, and you cut them straight out of it.
It's cut. But actually, I'll just bring it up very quickly. There's an article, and you should, listeners, get a. We're kind of running out of time, so we're not really going to be able to go over it as quickly as we like. But have a look at it. Basically, they're kind of comparing the popularity of Elder Scrolls with Game of Thrones. It's a really weird comparison. I don't know why they're comparing the two things, but it's kind of an entertaining read.
yeah.
So have a look. To me, that's almost like chalk and cheese, comparing chalk and cheese. Like, chalk is a bit chalky, cheese is cheesy and tasty. Chalk's not so tasty. It's kind of ridiculous, but I thought it was an entertaining, because I like both of those things. I like Elder Scrolls and Game of Thrones, so I put it in there as a kind of, squeeze.
Yeah, have a read, listeners, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so that'll wrap it up for news. And we'll get to listener feedback on the other side. All right, so we a lot of activity on our Facebook and Twitter and also on the MMO Reporter site, and we appreciate that. Anybody whose first name starts with B got very active, so Braxwolf, Brian, Bernard, and Bob.
I'm almost actually disappointed that I'm looking at that. This is how crazy I am. I'm looking at them going, oh God, I should have put them in alphabetical order.
But Wollo too. But we'll talk about Wollo at the end. But yeah, lots of stuff. It's kind of nice. Some suggestions and other items.
Yes, thanks, guys. Keep it coming. We always want to hear from the Bs, but it'd be also nice to hear from any other names between B and W, and A's are okay as well.
A's, yeah.
Can't forget
all the letters of the alphabet are welcome.
Although at the moment we just have the beginning and the end of the alphabet. Oh, unless we call Robert and not Bob, but yeah.
Well, what did they have to say? I see. I liked Braxwolf's comment.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Thank you, Braxwolf, for that. But he wants a lore section.
Yeah, I think we might do that.
We're tempted to do that. I know that Sven's put some really good ideas forward. We've got other people putting ideas forward. It would also be cool if you want a lore section, Braxwolf, and others who would like that. Tell us what you would like in the lore section. What you like us to cover. You don't have to do it all the time. We're not making you do loads of work. But if you have any ideas, put them forward.
Yeah, we've tossed around some ideas. At the pilot we did some lore book. We did a lore book reading, but I think and we might do something like that down the road. But maybe an area or a location or a race, or a era or age or whatever they refer to it. Yeah, that kind of thing. We'd be happy to do coverage on. We'll do it ourselves if we don't get any comments. But otherwise, if you have some ideas, toss them out.
Excellent. Yeah, do that. We got Brian, who's interested in guild info, but I think we covered the guild info last.
But doesn't mean we can't repeat it.
So what can you tell us about the guild info, guys?
Well, so the guild banks are sure great, aren't they? Oh, sorry.
They're stocked full of siege weapons right now, I can tell you that.
Lego siege weapons.
Well, guilds are unique to some extent in this game in that you can be a part of 5 different guilds. And there are trading guilds, which are pretty important if you want to buy and sell, because there aren't auction houses in the game as of yet. There are obvious the same old tropes, or not same old ideas with MMOs, where you have chat channels and that kind of thing. Settings for the type of whether you're a member or an officer. But I also noticed they had some good logs in there. Teppo was mentioning logs.
But I think he was also interested in our guild as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, Jen. What about our guild?
That's me, because I'm sorry, was interested in guild info. I wasn't very clear.
Okay, go ahead then.
We need a new.
I'm obviously rubbish.
How about our guild then?
What's our guild's name? I can't remember.
It's really hard to remember.
Oh.
Really tough.
Yeah.
Is it the... Wait a minute, because I know we've got innuendo...
That's
That's not
different
it.
one.
That's not that one.
What's the other one?
We'll get
No,
there
go
eventually.
on. I go on, tell me.
It's spelled ESO.
Oh, ESO Report. Oh, my God. Oh, it's because it wasn't that original. Yeah, that's why I forgot. It totally went out of my mind. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was thinking it was a really... No, but yes, we're ESO Reporter. We're on Eldmary.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find us there.
Yep, EU Mega Server, Aldmary Dominion. Join us.
Yeah, so send us some of your info and we can invite you into the guild, actually, if you like.
You can find me as @Tepotastic. I don't mind handing that out. So if you're interested in the show and if you listen to the show and interested in joining the guild, send me a and tell me that, and we'll get you.
And I'm @Sven SWVEN, and send me an email through the game if you want to spend 10 gold. And I can do that as well.
And I'm Janara, so as you can see. So if you need any info, just tell us or something, or email us.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we can get a little group together or something, or out in PvP land if you're interested. Just
cool.
shoot us.
Some good times.
What else do we get?
Bernard. Wanted to know about fishing and if there was a bug with rares. I don't know the answer to this, I'm afraid, Bernard. I'm not 100% sure. I don't fish a lot. I don't fish at all, actually.
I haven't fished
Any of you
either.
guys fish?
I might have fished.
Oh, yes. So can you tell us anything about this? Or?
Last I heard, you could fish, but when you caught a rare, you couldn't actually loot it from the box, from the loot box. I don't know if they fixed that yet, or if it was just an intermittent bug, but I do recall hearing about that. I don't think I faced a problem. I don't think I've ever pulled up a rare fish. I'm not an avid fisher, but if I happen to be there and I've got some crawlers or worms in my pocket, I'll go for it.
If you catch,
if I'm waiting,
if you catch a rare or a good fish, can you put it in the guild bank and then multiply it?
Well, you can't loot the rare, but you suppose you could with the good one.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
Fish farm.
I couldn't tell you, but we'll keep an eye on. We'll actually keep an eye on this for you as well. So when we know, we'll let you know if we know.
There's some cracking bugs in ESO America. I love the game to bits. There are some fabulous bugs.
As long as what is an Elder Scroll game without bugs, right?
Well, this is the thing, and to be fair, let's face it, they have far less bugs than Ceta did.
Do the giants still launch you into orbit in Skyrim? Because I used to love doing that.
Awesome.
I never got that. I feel like I left out those.
Oh, that's great. You could got to time your jump just right. And you're gone.
Well, you figured out it's not a bug, but it's a pretty cool deal where you're riding a horse and you jump and then dismount at the same time.
That's really cool. That's fun. That is fun.
That was interesting.
Next one's from Bob or
Hi,
Robert.
Bob.
Sorry, Robert, you might not like to be called Bob.
Robert.
And if
Maybe
that's the
it's
case,
Robert.
we apologize. It could be Robert.
Okay.
If that's your name, we apologize as well. Right, wants a beta key for Xbox. We don't have any.
We don't. Thanks, Cinemax.
We don't even have a solid launch day for the consoles yet. We just know June.
We just know June. But what we will do is we will do our best to contact ZeniMax when we know and go, because they owe us some bits anyway, I think, don't they? So, so we'll ask them for some.
Competition.
Yeah, and we'll put it up for competition.
You bet.
So keep an eye on that.
Or we'll just give everybody them. Come along. One and all.
Everybody.
You could all have them.
I don't think I have enough to finish all three of us. Oh, well, no, it's at least
me, you, and Jen.
Yeah.
5. No, because we've had 5 people talk. Yeah. We don't count.
Yeah, we're just the talkers. And then Wollo, you've been communicating with Wollo a lot, haven't you, Sven?
Me and Tep, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said something. It was a few sleeps ago, so I've slightly forgotten.
Oh, well, pretty much echoed our complaints about NPC banker comments.
Oh, God, so annoying. That bloody woman. And I'm glad we're not the only ones.
But
it's good that we have solidarity there.
Oh, agreed. But she's also been hit with a bank bug and been trying to get ZeniMax. She lost items and stuff, and nothing yet. And,
right.
Do you have any advice for Jen?
I
didn't you get something? Okay, good.
I do, because this didn't happen to me, but this happened to Solo. And basically what they'll do, Wollo, is they will send you a survey. The only way you can seem to get a hold of them is when they send you the survey, the customer service survey. You need to put down there, your customer service is rubbish. I have this issue you haven't sorted out. Please sort it out. I've been talking to endless amounts of people. It's not been sorted out yet. And it seems to work because Solo did actually get a response from them when he did that.
Awesome.
So that would be my suggestion. And you will get a survey because I think they have to send all of their customer service surveys out. So that will be the thing to do.
Thanks, Jen. That's great. I'm sure he appreciates that. And so thanks for the comments too, everybody.
That's been great.
A lot more fun when we could do that kind of thing. So let's wrap things up. How can everyone contact us? It's fairly easy. We have an email address at eso@mmoreporter.com. We're on Twitter. You can find us at ESO Reporter. I'm at Sven IM, which I know a few of you have found me at. At Jenara for Jen, JENAHRA, or at Teppo Fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry, Teppo-tastic.
No.
You'll get some other random person.
Right. I don't want someone else getting our adoring fans.
And then Facebook, facebook.com/ESO Reporter. We've got over 1,000 likes. Thank you so much for that. And I know you guys have been active.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then someone want to grab that last one for me?
Do you want me to grab it? Voicemail.
Yeah, it's all yours.
616-666-6778. And so Sven doesn't get really angry with you. There's also a widget on the right-hand side of MMOreporter.com. You can find it right next to us. Click on it if you want to send us a voice message.
If you want to be famous.
If you want to be famous, yeah, well, as famous as we are, anyway.
Yeah, well, as famous as, was it Edward or Edwin? Who was the gent in the...
David.
Was it David? From the Central Midlands of the UK?
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was Steve.
It was Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
Boy,
Sorry.
Wow, you people. Steve, I've got your back.
Sorry, Steve.
I remember you.
Oh, I feel so bad.
These two are too showbiz to remember your name.
We're just too up ourselves now. I'm joking. I'm sorry, Dave.
Oop.
I mean, Steve.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and I hope we gave some pointers and offered you some bits of advice and talked a little bit about some of the issues that are, possibly affecting you and your game. And if there's anything that you want us to touch upon, please continue to comment. Until next week, I am Sven, and I appreciate you listening. And thanks. I think I'll speak for Jen and Tep instead of introducing them every time or whatever at the end. Thanks, you guys, for joining, Jen and Tep.
You're welcome. Thanks, Sven.
Cheers. Have a good night, everyone.
Night. Go to audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter to get a 1-month free trial, and you get to keep anything that you download during the free month forever. Just go to audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter to sign up. Over 100,000 titles to choose from.